I don't really feel comfortable putting my traditional intro or music in with this video because the intro and music are meant to give off this goofy, upbeat tone to my videos, and it honestly doesn't feel applicable with the actual tone and content of this movie. There are very few movies that have left me with this feeling of dread, terror, and emptiness than Justin Kurzel's newest film, Nitram. Nitram is not a horror movie, but the way it's presented is so out there, disturbing, and it holds absolutely nothing back. It might not be a horror film, but make no mistake, the film is in every way, shape, and form terrifying. This is a film that goes out of its way to be as bleak and hopeless as possible. The cinematography feels so gross, every single shot is meant to look as unsettling as possible, and believe me, I mean this in the best way possible. The movie does an amazing job putting you in the point of view of this psychopath and even his parents. And that point of view makes the film look really dark and depressing, if that makes any sense. The sheer look of this film just screams hopelessness, and you realize that there is no redeeming this man, and everyone he knows have just given up on him and they feel like failures. Justin Kurzel does an absolutely fantastic job getting this disturbed emotional response out of you. He's a director I've always been interested in. He did SNOWTOWN and Macbeth, but this is the film that feels like he gave his all to. And he should, because this is a terrifying subject matter based on a real event, and it comes across like a PSA on how easy it actually was for someone like Nitram to gain access to weapons and how the massacre could have been prevented. But it doesn't shove the gun reform beliefs down our throats. It just tells its story and lets it speak for itself. You can tell that this was something Kurzel knew was important to tell, and sometimes in order to get your message across to your audience, you gotta be a little ruthless. It doesn't show any violence, but the way it disturbs you is just the buildup of it all. You know what's going to happen, but it's just this series of events and breakdowns that eventually leads to this eruption. You feel like there's no escaping it. The performances in Nitram feel so real, so much so that it adds to the level of disturbance that the film offers. The performance from Judy Davis is so devastating and traumatizing, you feel so sorry for her the entire time. You're witnessing a woman who doesn't want to give up on her son and is trying her best with him, but ultimately feels like a failure. Caleb Landry Jones, however, this is one of the most terrifying performances I've ever seen an actor give. He is absolutely ruthless, yet so quiet. He conveys so much just by his actions and facial expressions. Not only does he look gross, but he just unleashes hell onto this performance and completely transforms into this psychopath. He won Best Actor at Cannes, and it's completely 100% deserved. I even read some comments from Australians saying how surprised they were that Caleb was American because he pulled off the accent perfectly. The last thing I'll say is this. The final 2 minutes of this movie will haunt me for the rest of my life. Especially that mirror shot. Again, you don't see any violence or bloodshed. You don't even see or hear the massacre. But you know what happened. And the entire movie builds up to this ending. So it leaves you with this hopeless, rotten feeling by the time it ends. When the film ended and the text appeared on the screen, my audience was completely silent. I mean, no one spoke a word to each other. It was haunting. Nitram, I think, is one of the best films of the year, but it's not something that's an easy watch or easy to recommend to everybody. It's a fucked up movie, but it's important. It's truly a great film, even if it's not an easy watch. I'll probably never watch it again, but it's truly terrifying.